accurately describes the relation between those two.
Yeah. Epic.
Nice.
Are you torturing them with something?
Probably.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Thus,
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely torturing them with something. Yeah. My statement stands. Yeah, I know, but I mean, you're still torturing them with it. Yeah. So, how many days do you think it's gonna go before Elaine notices? Understandable.
I give it in a week,
Yeah.
and that's probably generous.
Probably.
He is Swedish.
Yeah.
You know, I love when I'm trying to fill out tax info and they're like, we're gonna limit the characters you can put in certain boxes because fuck you.
Hmm.
So I can't technically include my full employer's name on this.
Epic.
My favorite is recently I was trying to apply for a job, and
Yeah.
they were like, "Hey,
Oh, is this the one you copy pasted to me earlier?
no, different one."
Oh,
They were like, "Hey, and so I ended up not applying for this job, by the way, because it was just I didn't understand how to apply for the job because like they were like, "Here, list all of your previous employment." I'm like, "Okay." And I hit save. And it's like, "Sorry, you didn't check the box. Please check these boxes." I'm like, "Okay, what are the boxes I didn't check?" And the box it's asking me to check is, am I currently employed there? Which I'm not. So I didn't check the box. Because if I check the box, it takes away the end date of my employment there, indicating that I'm no longer employed there. Right? So I
Amazing.
can't
one would think.
save my employment history because I'm not working 9 jobs at once. According to this, according to this website. It wouldn't let me
Nice.
save the job unless I said I was currently working there. I'm just like,
Amazing.
That's rather dumb.
I
But
think
that
I
is
figured out
completely-
why you still have this job position open.
Yeah.
And then it's like, alright, please list the addresses of your jobs. Address location 1, address location 2, address location 3. I'm like, okay, well, I don't have 3 addresses for this job. But I have to apparently fill in 3 addresses for this job. It's required. And I'm just sitting here like,
What
the fuck?
dumbass put this?
Who the fuck made this required?
Yeah, that's a good question. Who did this?
And honestly, at this point, I'm just starting to use, I really shouldn't be. I should be taking any job I can get. But at the same time, I'm looking at some of these websites, and their resume scan system is beyond awful. Which just tells me the state of their IT. And I'm like, do I really want to work for a company that can't seem to figure out how to scan a text-based resume for a job that they want
Mhm.
people to apply for on their website instead of using
Oh,
Indeed's employment system that any employer can sign up for.
Hmm.
Like, you want to have your own repository of resumes. Fine. You want to have your own system and details that you want your your potential employees to register. Fine. Then make the fucking system work. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
There's already a
Usually a good
perfectly
idea.
good working system in place, and you choose not to use it. But in your choice not to use it, you're like, no, I don't want to use the working car. I want to build my own car. You just taped two squares together and drew a picture of an engine on a piece of paper. Yeah, it's a work in progress. It's a car in progress. It's like fucking
Hmm.
no, it's not. Fuck off. I don't pay the extra $10 fucking dollars or whatever Indeed wants. Fucking Christ. Maybe you'll get more fucking employees that way. Anyway, that's the story for that's the opening story for the day. So let's get on with it, gentlemen.
Hooray.
Welcome to Fanfiction. Welcome to Fanfiction Theater 9005 with your host SneakyDevil. Can you hear
Hooray.
that? It's definitely not the sound of a cocktail being made.
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah, I am required to tell you it's not.
It's just a spicy drink of questionable origin.
Exactly. Yes. I got it from the school lunch.
Excellent.
Yes.
A
Interesting
Russian school lunch.
So, what do
Very
you guys
cool.
feel like tonight? What do you guys feel like starting with tonight? You got anime, you got the books, got them cartoons, got them games.
I don't know. It's been a while since we've done a Harry Potter, isn't it?
Actually, I think you're right. It has.
Yeah. Couple weeks at least.
I got nothing.
All right. English ratings all. Oh Jesus fucking Christ! Fucking hell.
Ah.
Gonna be one of those days.
That's a
It's
wonderful
Sure
way to
is.
start off the night.
every Tuesday and Friday is one of those days.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So the first story
Always
on this
will be.
list here is Honey Sweet Lips, a romance
then.
horror story
Um.
of Harry Potter
Uh.
times Tom Riddle.
Mm,
Hmm.
mm, that is words I didn't need to hear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool.
Very
They
cool.
are all liars, the lot of them, with their honey sweet lips and murderous tendencies. Sob stories for all of them, lies tangled with truth. No tears they weep for the wicked and the loved. Death loves all of them. If only they didn't take so much from him, Death mused sadly. A Harry Potter times Tom Riddle story featuring Hermione and Draco as well.
What the fuck is the fifth one on the list there, Sneaky?
I do. We're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
Also, apparently, this Harry is black.
Hmm.
Um.
I'm just
I
gonna
mean, not
write
quite
something
black.
in Discord and then not say it out loud, and we're just gonna move on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fair enough. Yeah, I get that.
I
I agree with that statement.
Is Harry just? Oh, I. Eh.
Yeah.
Uh... Yep. Yep.
I don't know, Chief.
Yeah, this is Child Harry times Tom Riddle.
Oh no. Is it the second book? God.
That is. There is several degrees of wrong with that. So,
Yeah.
we got story 2 on this list. The Ties That Bind by Half-Blood Princess. Never.
Yeah,
Alright,
I mean,
so
you know, there's only
female-
one type of person who has a nickname of that, and it's a fucking female Snape fan.
Of course, yes, it's a female Snape fan, which
Yeah.
means whatever we see is definitely not a self-insert of a female character in the story. Times Snape, 100%, definitely not.
Why
5
perish
years
the thought?
after the Second Wizarding War, the Ministry narrowly pushes through legislation that enforces forced couplings in the wake of reduced magical population.
Oh no, it's one of these fucking
It's
stories.
one of these fucking stories. Meanwhile, the disgraced war hero Severus Snape, who should be on trial in the Prague.
The Hague.
Yeah, whatever. I don't fucking care. Either place.
Yeah, close enough.
Is facing a bittersweet conclusion to his delayed trial. In the wake of being selected for matchmaking, can Hermione Granger change both of their fates in a single calculated blow?
Mm,
This is definitely not the
uh,
author inserting themselves as Hermione Granger so they can write about having sex with a Severus Snape who has no option but to have sex with her because otherwise he goes on death row. Isn't that so interesting that this author fantasizes about forcing themselves on someone because their other option of not being forced upon is death?
I mean, yeah, it makes about as much sense as anything from fucking the Harry Potter section.
Yeah, I know, but it's just very
God.
interesting how this woman
Yeah,
dreams
it's,
about raping people.
Curious.
And then frames that as humor. Isn't it funny, apparently, that
It's fucking
Snape
hilarious.
gets raped?
I mean, there is a certain irony in the shoe being on the other foot. But, yeah.
Yeah, still, it's just, I don't know. I don't spend my time
I mean,
fantasizing about it.
No.
Just, yeah.
No, it's disgusting.
Harry Potter, the Deathly Hallows, and what might, and I guess the person ran out of title space.
Epic.
Harry
That's
Potter,
great.
the Deathly Hallows, and the story of what might have been. Yeah, I was right. This is an AU Harry Potter story. Picked up on that one. Taking
Wow.
one key moment in the story and changing it. What happens from there? Do things end in the same way? Probably not, considering you're saying you're changing things. How does it change the story? I don't know, author. That's what you're supposed to tell us. You should review my story. This story is now on hiatus. It's an adventure romance story featuring Harry Potter and Ginny. Yeah,
That's great. What the fuck? Wait. Updated 23 minutes ago, published 2012.
Yeah. 19 chapters, one whole book. Yeah.
Seen worse, I guess, but like...
Damn.
How the fuck have you not given up after fucking...
9 years.
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah,
10 years. Yeah, approaching
9.5.
10 years. Yeah, 9.5, yeah. When the people we meet in captivity, the trio's camp was ambushed and all three got separated. Harry gets tossed into the dungeons of Malfoy Manor and has no idea what happens to other people, but meets a certain blonde, and then they make an unlikely alliance in order to survive. Guys, I swear it's not Slash.
Angst friendship. Yeah, that's a fucking amazing
Friendship.
combination.
Yeah, that's an amazing combination. That's what I come to the Harry Potter section to read. I come into the Harry Potter section, that story
Oh,
about
fuck
magic and fighting the government. I come to that section for angst. That's what I love about Harry Potter is all the angst in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Those
Yeah.
scenes certainly weren't the worst fucking scenes in the entire series.
The search is over. A creature and Regulus Black fanfiction. There was a very good reason that Regulus Black reacted hard enough to lose his own life when he discovered Voldemort had nearly killed Creature to protect the hiding place of this Horcrux. Discover that reason and more, because Regulus Black didn't die, and what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. More trouble is coming, and old curses. A fantasy romance story featuring 130 chapters of 2K words each of Regulus Black times Creature. 5 reviews, 13 favorites. And they have been updating. They've been updating since 2020. So in the 2 years that this story has been running, they've like put out a chapter every 7 days.
Yep, 1 a week. I mean,
every 6
props
days.
for dedication, I guess.
Yeah.
Question mark. Don't want to say that, but I guess.
Yeah, I really feel like we shouldn't be giving them props.
Yeah.
The one with arranged marriage. Harry Potter has no hope of killing Voldemort. An opportunity presents itself in which the matter can be settled without killing him. A marriage offers binding and ancient powerful magics enough to override the prophecy. Now neither can harm the other. She agrees to this as the costs of war are too great and her guilty conscience won't let her sit around any longer. Author self-insert Fem Harry times Voldemort.
That's concerning.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it is always kind of concerning when authors are like, my fantasy is being forced into a situation where I have to sell my body to save people. It's like, okay, author, that's
That's TMI.
all right. Yeah, I could have gone my whole life without letting you know me that, but I appreciate your candor.
Yeah. You know, props on being honest, I guess, but preferred if you didn't.
Oh no, is this real? Is that thing posted in Meme Land real? It better not be real.
The last thing from CA.
Yeah.
That cannot be real.
fairly
That's not allowed to be real.
I'm fairly sure it isn't real, but I am not sure. Give me a bit and I can do some research.
Yeah, please. I want to make sure that I don't have to drink extra tonight. Drink extra water, you know, the spicy water.
Yeah.
Because I don't want that to be real. Just like I don't want any of these. I think all of these authors should also be put up against the wall. Honestly, if it wasn't against the law, I would probably start making a list.
Unfortunately, I think it might be.
I am I'm
She
not
might not
okay
be the
with this.
main person involved, but
She?
yeah, she.
Are we sure about that one?
Are we sure it's a she or is it a she?
I am not sure.
Let's keep it that way.
Alright, so we got Harry and Luna
Yeah.
Potter, the killer puzzle. Harry and Luna spend 20 years trapped in a puzzle full of serial killers.
Those were words?
What?
Uh, um,
A puzzle full of serial killers?
okay then.
What?
What
I
does
mean,
that mean?
don't get me wrong. Interesting premise. I'll give you that.
Yeah, it's certainly something I haven't seen before.
But what?
Unsure if that's a good or a bad thing.
Yeah.
Probably a good thing.
And they get married and have kids. Once they get out of the puzzle, they need to recover their memories and reconcile the facts of their life in the puzzle with their real lives.
What the fuck?
A
The next
choose-your-own-adventure story on how you want things to end.
This motherfucker wrote 15 endings.
A potential story for Harry times Luna, Harry times Ginny, or Harry times Hermione, and the other ones that are shocking or horrifying depending on your choices. Well, first off, this is illegal. Choose your own adventure is not permitted on fanfiction.net, specifically mostly because the structure of the content doesn't allow for it. You know, being that you
Yeah.
can only post chapters that are iterative. Second off, how do you spend 20 years with someone, fall in love with them, get married, have kids, and then remember, like, oh yeah, 20 years ago I had a crush on this one girl. I guess we have to break up now, honey. I'll see the kids on Sundays.
Alimony?
Like,
Nope.
like what?
No money.
Like, what kind of fucking memories are you unlocking here that you're like, what? Wife of 20 years plus kids? Or someone I knew 20 years ago that I might have been in a slight relationship with that's nowhere near as tightly knit as the one I currently have with my wife.
Yeah.
No, goodbye, wife. I'm pursuing the path.
And Sneaky. Canonically, they're not even that good looking either. That's like the worst thing about it.
Who?
Ginny and Hermione.
Oh, yeah, no, they're not. Yeah. No.
Just like them. Alright then.
Yeah, Marauders fighting back! They're no longer children, not really, but they aren't adults. The war against Voldemort is not going well, and the Marauders are starting to feel the effects. The world doesn't seem quite so bright after all. Are they going to be able to fix it? Follow the Marauders and company as they try to get through school and survive to young adulthood. This is the second in the AU of the Marauders series.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't even find a scrap of interest because
Yeah.
I don't really care about these characters.
Yeah.
The premise isn't overly interesting. And it basically reads like, oh, what's that J.R.R. Tolkien quote? Evil cannot create, it can only corrupt. Something like that.
Yeah, more or less.
Because This just reads like, I want to write an original story, but I know no one will click on it because I'm a boring ass person with no writing talent. So I'm going to write a story that piggybacks off of another popular story. Because it's an AU of the Marauders, who we barely got any content for in the original Harry Potter series.
Yeah.
So it's characters people aren't particularly attached to, being changed however which ways the author wants them to, being set before the plot ever happens, so they can basically make anything happen because they declared it as an AU and it's not going to follow the plot of canon. So there's basically nothing that makes it Harry Potter except for the names of everyone being used.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we got Trip to Egypt. Draco and Hermione. No. Drama romance, written by a female writer. Of course.
Why wouldn't it be?
Unpredicted! Voldemort had a daughter with an unknown witch, but his daughter is nothing like him.
Who could have seen this coming?
It was
Who
what a big
gives a
fucking
fuck?
shocker. When she goes to Hogwarts, she unpredictably goes into Gryffindor. What happens after that? Does she fall in love with Ron Weasley?
God, I fucking hope not.
Sex?
No, it's not Ron, it's fucking George.
George.
Really? Really?
Really?
Calm the fuck on.
Oh, fucking hell, man. I am just emotional damage.
Yeah.
This isn't interesting, even in the
I'm-
worst way.
Yeah.
I'm like taking psychic damage right now from just reading these stories.
To be fair, that is sort of the concept of this stream.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
I have to go get my psychic damage buffer. Hold on.
You get
Yeah.
the resist potion.
Yeah, my resist potion.
Yeah, I'll drink one of those too. Cheers.
That's not too
Oh.
bad. That's pretty good.
Fuck.
Could use more honey. But I think I'm onto something here.
No fuck. He's doing it. I think this thing has been unranked for too long.
Yes.
The sugar is starting to separate out.
Oh, we gotta shake it up.
Yeah, I know, but it's still like fucking. It doesn't dissolve completely again.
Yeah, it only stays like that for so long.
Yeah, so it's like
the Winding
disgusting.
Road. Oh, by classic username, I'm not a writer. Number 981.
1981. Yeah, all right. Very cool.
Yeah, classic username. I always love those people that post stories and they're like, guys, I don't write. Guys, I don't write stories. I don't
Would've fooled me.
I don't write stories, guys. I'm not a writer.
But
Guys.
you still showed up.
Yeah, but you still showed up, and your story's still bad. Because holy shit, you're in the Harry Potter section and you only got 24 favorites.
I mean, it's better than the one below.
24 look, it's not that hard. Okay, we're gonna get to it. Harry never goes to Hogwarts. The war is over and he tries to find a place in a world that he never felt connected to. Told from the perspective of Ginny. Harry never goes to Hogwarts. The war is over. What war occurred? The war that Harry started?
The war against the French, hopefully.
Oh, maybe.
The war against the Bulgarians?
Finally.
Again?
Fucking Bulgars get what they deserve.
Do you realize how little that narrows it down? You killed my father! Look, you're gonna have to try harder than that.
Yeah.
You ruined me.
Again, not
Narrower?
narrowing it down.
I don't even know who you are.
God, there's such great comebacks. You ruined me. I have no idea who you are.
Yeah.
Tales of an Aurora, Part 2 Inertia by Pancake 007. After getting ridiculed and fired from her position at Mac USA for trying to convince the Senate of Voldemort's return, Paige Asher and her team have a new mission. Paige has conflictions with her promise to Dumbledore, and not wanting to see Severus, but she knows what she must do. This story takes place during the Order of the Phoenix. One review, one favorite.
Yeah.
Damn.
Clearly the most riveting of concepts.
Also, like, she gets fired from her position at Mac USA, but is still apparently on the team because her team gets sent to Britain to go kill a terrorist. And it's like, wait a second.
Wait a goddamn minute.
Wow, this dialogue's fucking riveting. This is literally blocks of text in between dialogue. Oh, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this?
What?
Author? What the fuck is this?
What the fuck is Utakemar? What?
What the
wait,
fuck is this? They keep doing it. Oh, this is some Korean shit. I've seen this before. This is what the Koreans fucking do. Why are you copying the Koreans? They're wrong about everything.
Yeah. You know, Sneaky, I told
Like
Ray
this.
this the other day, about Lost Ark, but sometimes I am of the opinion that what MacArthur wanted to do to Korea wasn't enough.
Yeah.
A belt of radiated cobalt wouldn't be enough.
Yeah. You know, maybe if we nuked the Koreans, they would end up like Japan and we would actually get some good fucking content out of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead, we get this fucking shit. What the fuck is this shit? Why is there no spacing between paragraphs unless it's dialogue? It's the dumbest fucking shit I've ever seen.
That is quite retarded, yeah.
How long have they been writing? Joined last month.
Great.
Hi, I'm Pancake, and the 007 in my name stems from the fact that I want to fuck James Bond.
Excellent.
I'm currently working on Harry Potter fanfiction involving an OC self-insert and Severus Snape. I think it's because I have daddy issues.
I mean, at least they're honest about it.
Self-aware, I suppose.
Yeah.
I also have another account on this website where I wrote other fanfiction, but it was extremely cringe, so I'm going to pretend I don't have that account anymore.
Also,
Really?
surprisingly,
Your old account had cringe, eh?
I mean, yeah, if it's cringe compared to this, then fucking lord.
Oh boy. You know, I pray every
I'm
night,
glad
but
they haven't
Jesus
mentioned it.
Christ.
Yeah.
I think I might need to pray harder. How do you feel about that, Max? Pray harder.
I don't think it's gonna help in this case.
You might be right.
You're
Yeah.
definitely right.
I have to often triple check what I write, and because it still has mistakes. This is the result of being high all the time and smoking a shit ton of weed.
Cool. Death penalty.
Alright.
Does anyone else want to hide their obsession with fanfiction from their significant other? I think my boyfriend would heavily judge me if I told him what I was writing.
With good
I'm
reason.
heavily judging you,
Yeah.
so fairly certain. I am a Canadian.
This explains a lot.
Day of
Yeah.
rake! Day of rake! Day of rake!
Day of rake.
Right.
Day of rake. Let's go.
I fell
One of
in
these
love
days,
with
Sneaky.
living here, and now I'm 32 years old, which makes me a millennial. I am a paramedic, and then I was a paramedic for 10 years, but I can't do that anymore because now I have PTSD.
Are you just hitting every single checklist, author?
Woman moment. Also, 32 with a boyfriend. Woman moment.
Woman?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's much better now. I am still left with a huge fear of driving.
Woman moment?
Why would you be afraid? Like, look, honestly, like, I can actually understand developing some sort of PTSD from being a paramedic if you were, like, the
Yeah.
guy in the back who was, like, trying to keep these people alive, and it's like, you're seeing people fucking die left and right every single day because they're just too wounded, and no matter what you do, they won't stop bleeding, and they just keep fucking dying at your hands. Like, I can understand developing PTSD from that, but you're like, I'm scared of driving to this day. It's like, wait, are you telling me you were the driver?
Hmm. Apparently.
For some reason, their bio mentions something called Murder Highway.
Murder
So-
Highway.
I'm curious if that's an exaggeration or if that is actually a road that they had to deal with on a daily to
Well,
weekly basis.
I'll look it up in a second. I used
think the
to,
only thing you're
and
gonna
still
get is
do
Ground
this to
4.
this day, use dark humor to push through with all the unpleasant stuff. I'm sure it comes out in my writing. It's a form of helping me grieve. Sometimes I write about... some things I write about and will write about will be right on the money and fall in line with the feelings I am experiencing. Anxiety is a thing for me. Oh man, I literally puke every morning because I'm terrified of what I have to do that day as a paramedic. Like, look, okay? I had to handle some shit. Obviously nowhere near what the paramedics had to handle, but I had to handle some fucking shit. And yeah, I drank every night, but fucking puking in the morning? Seriously? I'm glad you're not a paramedic anymore. Jesus Christ, you're like the Tsunade of real life.
Yeah. Accurate.
And then it would go on like, oh my god, I need to drive this boxy ambulance down a murder highway to help hurt people. And I might be the next victim it decides to consume. So yeah, my mind is warped. Okay, so Murder Highway
Okay.
Canada.
So it brings up something called the Highway of Tears, which has apparently an alarmingly high rate of women going missing or being found dead along it.
I highly doubt she is driving 450 miles.
No,
Yeah,
but
no.
that's 450 mile. Snake, the odds of her driving the entirety of it's low, but like she might have lived in an area near a section of it.
I mean, I guess, but what she says specifically is, now I have to go drive down the murder highway to help hurt people. And I might be the next victim it consumes. Like, okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Sneaky, me saying I'm going down 85 doesn't mean I'm driving the entirety of 85.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong, but at the same time, it's like, okay, so 80, oh wait, only 80 people died over the course of the past 50 years?
80 plus missing or dead over 52 years. That's just shy of 2 per year.
Oh
Yeah,
no!
Sneaky.
A whole 2 fucking people per year!
Yeah. Sneaky,
Really,
you wanna go
Canada?
look up the look up the Highway of Death. It's a bit more.
Is this in Brazil?
Nope.
It's in Kuwait? In Iraq?
Yep.
Alright, so how many people died in this one?
About 1,000, I think, over a couple of days.
Yeah, okay, so
'Cause,
there we go. Yeah, result of American forces bombing a traffic jam. Very cool.
Yep.
Thank you, America.
Bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Well done,
America.
boys.
Here we go.
Why?
Canada, the highway of tears. A whole 80 people here have died over the course of 50 years. Meanwhile, with America, yeah, this is the highway of death. Oh yeah, why is it called the highway of death? Well, we killed about 1,000 people here over the course of 5 days.
Yeah.
Oh.
Death toll estimates range from 300 up to 10,000.
That's wait, hold on. Wait. 300 to 10,000. That's a
That's a big jump. That's a big
Yeah.
jump.
That's like Civil War casualty jumps that you and I have discussed. That's a massive margin.
Yeah, how do you fuck up that
Yeah.
margin? It's like, well, 300 people might have died here. Okay, fair enough. Or 10,000. Wait, how did you get 10,000 out of that one? Well, we found a lot of body parts.
Yeah.
18 to 2,700 vehicles were destroyed. What the fuck?
Wait, how the fuck? So if we
Yeah.
have 700 vehicles being destroyed, how does only 300 people die? Because I
wait,
assume
no,
we didn't
20
get any.
18 to 27. Yeah, no, what are these estimates then?
Wait,
I'm
are they
sorry.
saying one person was driving 2 vehicles each? Like, what?
Each
Yes.
person was towing one.
Oh yeah, apparently it was a giant trucker convoy.
It was just a bunch of semi trucks with busted up shit loaded on their trailers. I get like
I mean, yeah, potentially, like, they
The-
could
the
have just
hi-
not hit the driver.
the high end for vehicles destroyed is 2,700. So that's like 9
Okay, so,
vehicles per person if you go with a 300 estimate.
Yeah, Arn, I believe that's possible that they might have missed one person, but when you destroy, it was 2,700 vehicles, and you say
Yeah.
only 300 people died in this event.
I know. Yeah.
Golly, the pictures on these are fucking Mad Max.
So basically,
Jesus.
basically, what I'm getting from this Highway of Tears shit here is the only reason why it's called the Highway of Tears is because it's women that went missing. That's the only reason
Probably,
why
yeah.
people give a shit and named it. It's because women went missing.
Yeah. And the Highway of Death was what happens when you send a couple of A-10s towards a highway
I mean,
filled with fleeing Iraqis.
that's something.
Yeah.
That's America.
Bert.
Anyway, on to lighter topics. Yeah, now that you're being so we've established the author is absolutely delusional
Of course.
and I believe them that they have PTSD. I believe that they've tricked themselves into having PTSD. Because if this is genuinely what they went into, like every morning, like, oh my god, I'm gonna drive down a highway of tears. If they went through that every single fucking morning, I fully believe they have PTSD. Because they gave
Yeah.
themselves that. They hyped themselves up to that point. Every single day, according to them. And women
Yeah.
never exaggerate. So we can take them for their word.
Of course. Hashtag believe all women.
Exactly. Other boring interests are me playing video games and doing art and stuff. I've blatantly ripped from GTA 5 RP. That's cringe. I have an unhealthy obsession with Pokemon and have Pokemon tattoos. That's cringe. I would love to work with male writers and get men perspectives on things. Also, why don't we do a writing like Twitch stream for writing? Hi, chat.
Hello, chat. It's
Well,
alright.
The author says hi, chat as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Part of the problem with that is that they'd probably lose traffic on whenever they actually upload the chapter because people got a sneak peek anyways.
Well, they would
Yep.
lose traffic on their chapter, but if they had a good enough personality, which I'm talking about a woman here, so that's a fucking 50-50 shot. If they had a good enough personality, they could keep the content flowing. Their Twitch channel would do pretty well, which would definitely earn them far more money than fanfiction. But yeah, this is pretty fucking cringe. So the first part of this story series that they're trying to write is another romance humor fic called "The Tales of an Aurora Ideola." After a visit to Japan, a small child left Paige with ancient magic, and things haven't been the same to her. Phrasing. 15 years later, she's made a name for herself in the Magical Congress as an Aurora. She's well on her way to rise the ranks until she meets someone who changes her outlook on life while at Hogwarts, Severus Snape. So she meets a small child who gives her ancient magic in Japan. She uses this ancient magic to gain...
Sneaky, your alcohol is kicking in. She visited Japan as a small child and picked up ancient magic. You missed an entire word that changes the context of the sentence.
Oh, well, I also missed any punctuation they had, which they didn't, so...
There was
No?
at least one
After a
singular
visit to
comma.
Japan as a small child. You don't need punctuation in there for that.
Yep.
Yeah, fair enough, I suppose. Anyway.
I get that you're slightly buzzed, but come on.
Oh, I'm beyond buzzed, Max. I'm fully buffed
Livid?
by this.
On the SneakyDevil channel.
I'm fully buffed by this psychic damage resistance potion that I'm drinking.
Oh no.
It's a
Anyway.
tier 5 potion.
Mm.
Epic.
You know what? Let's look at the crossovers.
Probably doing more damage to you than helping.
No. Nah, of course not. No, it doesn't do any damage to me at all. Potions don't do damage to you, Max. Poisons do. Everyone knows that.
It's really easy to get those confused.
Looks at the Elden
Yes.
Ring ink flask.
Just shut up, Greg.
There's something about the Elden Ring flask I've somehow avoided.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't need to worry about the game poisoning me when I go to take a sip of Estus now?
Yes.
Probably.
Oh, God.
It's either that or it's going to be a lot worse.
Oh, good.
Oh, wires. Well, that one's just cringe.
A leading cause of death, you know?
A Harry Potter hell of a boss story. It's only 400 words long and it has the word summary inside on the fucking summary. So what, half the story is the summary or something? So we have Pack Life, a Harry Potter Twilight story. After completing her master's in potions and herbology and adopting her godson Teddy Lupin in the wake of his grandmother's death, Hermione just fucks off to America with the godson? Woman moment.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna casually adopt this godson, even though, you know, they entrusted it to Harry. Hermione decides a change is in order, so she just goes to America, where she meets a handsome man and his strange friends. A Hermione Granger times Sam story. 43 chapters, 200,000 words, 1,300 reviews, 2,634 favorites, and it's been ongoing for 5 years.
God.
Fangirls are a mistake.
Yep.
Winds of Change. Essentially, Harry's now in Skyrim. Dumbledore bashing.
Of course.
Yep. That's about it, really.
Alright. Well, brief summary, good to know. Journey to Survive. Join Brianna as she follows her cousin Luna on their journey to survive unknown planet with large animals and unknown creatures. Harry Potter and the Mugen Watsuki survive. featuring an OC self-insert times Kaoru and Chanko and Luna.
Chunko.
I don't know any of these characters, so we're just gonna keep going. Test chapter by Just Bored. These chapters are test chapters for future stories I might do.
How about
Okay.
you don't?
Oh no. A Harry Potter supernatural story. Okay. Daisy Potter and the Weapon of Harry Potter Fanfiction Book 6. Daisy's back at Hogwarts, and the Weasley twins are also back at Hogwarts, but not for their newts, as they claim, but for Daisy. That's kind of creepy. Terry and the marketing potential there. A love triangle turns complicated as Kylie, Fred, George, Ginny, Hermione, and others all fight over Daisy. That's not a love triangle. That's like a love quadratical. But love and jealousy
Rectangle.
pale in comparison when Daisy is snatched again by Tom Riddle, and he is planning on creating a weapon out of her. One
Okay.
follower.
One too many.
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy, author. Oh, no, don't tell me. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh no.
15 favorites, book 1. 7 favorites, book 2. 7 favorites, book 3. 5 favorites, book 4. 4 favorites, book 5. 1 follow, book 6.
Yikes. You know, author, you were supposed to get more favorites and follows on each one.
Yeah.
Not less.
It's called building the audience. But you've
This is
Apparently
the,
failed utterly.
the inverse, destroying the audience.
yeah, you did the inverse on that one. So oh, I can't imagine why they would lose people. What if Harry
the
Potter
title of
had
the
a
fourth
twin
book,
sister? Would she be the troublemaker of the school, or would she fall in love with Draco Malfoy? Or Terry Boot?
Terry who?
Terry Boot. It's a character from
Yeah.
the books that had basically the only line.
Ravenclaw. I think.
He only had like one line in the entire series, and it was like Harry Potter sucks or something.
Yeah,
I
pretty
see.
much.
Impressive to build an entire character from one sentence.
Oh,
Look,
this
Pepper
section
fans
has
are,
done more with less.
Built different.
Yeah, this section has done more with less, Max. Or
Green
will she
grass.
fall in love with her female rival, Pansy? Or a famous wizarding band, Kylie Ford? Or maybe she'll even fall in love with Fred Weasley. You should read to find out who she falls in love with.
No, I don't think I will.
She's fucking 10! Author.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you know, I think the author took that in the opposite interpretation, Sneaky. She's fucking 10. God.
There's gonna be lots of sex in book 3
my.
onwards.
A
So,
book song I
well-
really like you by Carly Rae. Oh my fucking god. God. This
Book
has to be written
3
by like a
makes them
14-year-old.
14, yeah.
Yeah, like the author has to be 14, I mean.
Makes...
Look, by that
Yeah.
fucking summary.
Yeah. I just... The fact that this exists as an entire series causes
Wait.
me pain.
Yo, Sneaky, this whole fucking thing was uploaded in one day.
Does that mean that it's a re-upload?
I think
I don't think it's a
that is-
re-upload, just pre-written.
So it's from AO3.
Possibly.
Yeah, I don't want to check.
What other site would allow that?
You know, that's a good question, Gray, but as I said, I don't want to find out.
That's exactly why I'm
Let's
saying
just
that.
Harry Potter and the Half-God Prince, a Wonder Woman Harry Potter crossover. Uh-huh.
That doesn't make sense.
Nuh-uh. Harry Potter Lord of the Rings, a dreamers traveling across worlds proved not to be as smooth as Luna had made it sound. Still, Harry wasn't one to abort a plan because it didn't survive the first moments of execution. Female Master of Death Harry Potter crossover covering the entirety of Lord of the Rings from the First Age. 22 of 44 chapters now published. Okay. Boring, but whatever. Your family. What if Harry Potter was not a Potter at all, but instead a Winchester? Oh yeah. What if Harry Potter? What if Harry Potter's mom cheated on the person that she's married to with someone in America, and then magicked her son to look exactly like her husband?
What?
Yeah, I'm not really. I'm not really sure. This is not going to be canon compliant. I will write what I write. I'm not following canon. This is a supernatural Harry Potter crossover.
Why are there so fucking many of them?
Harry, if you're reading this, then you are 11 years old. The truth is, you're not our child at all. You're actually the child of John and Mary Winchester. I'm sorry you're finding out from this note. You were stolen from your parents and then put into a coma. And then 10 years after you were stolen, the man who stole you, Albus Dumbledore, gave you a note and gave you to James and me. Wait. Author, do you think Harry Potter starts in 2000s?
Probably.
Fucking fanfiction authors, man.
I'm trying to wrap my head around this because the author's like, Harry is born in 1984, which is canon. Harry was born in 1984. Or is it 83 or something? Whatever.
No, Harry was born in fucking 80.
80? Okay, it was 80 after all. Okay. Still, I mean,
Yeah.
that's fairly close. So then the author goes on to say, if you're reading this note, you're 11 years old. Because what happened was you were kidnapped as a baby, and then Albus put you into a coma for 10 years. Which would make him 11 years old. And 11 years from 84 would be 95. But then the author says that the current time period is 2005, which would make Harry 21?
Yeah.
21.
21, yeah. Depending on when in the year.
So 21. But this letter was meant for him at age 11.
I mean,
even
yeah.
though at age 11 he was put into a coma.
No, he was put in a coma earlier.
Yeah, he was put into a coma when he was a baby, and then he was supposed to receive this letter at age 11, which is when the coma would have ended.
No, that's that. No, he was in the stasis for 10 years, and then Dumbledore gave him the antidote, and then he started growing. So now he's 11, technically.
Okay, but the Drought of Living Death doesn't put you into stasis.
I mean, that's what the author fucking says, and they also said they would fucking ignore canon.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Sure. I don't. Why?
Because fuck canon.
Yeah, fuck you.
But like, why 2005? Like, we've talked about this before. Like,
maybe that's when the author was born. Who knows?
Maybe. I'm just really fucking confused because, well, no, 2000, there'd be 95 the author was born, because this letter is supposed to be 10 years after the coma was worn off.
Who fucking cares?
But point being is that I'm not sure why he put him in the coma. Like,
yeah,
okay, yeah, fine, kidnap the child, give it to the Potters, yeah, sure, fine. But why? Why make it 2005?
Arbitrary number go wee.
Yeah, but I know we've talked about this before. Obviously, the author never heard us when we talked about this, but like, we've talked about this before with the time, like 95 and 2005 were such radically different times in terms of technology available to the average person. Like, why would you just arbitrarily make it to 2000? I'm trying to wrap my head out of. I think it's so Sam and Dean can already be badass supernatural hunters by this point.
Possibly.
Like, okay, I guess. Sam and Dean, blah blah blah, John, Kansas, access to your trust fund, plane ticket and passport. Hunters, drinks, touch silver, family vault, broomstick, blah blah blah, plane. We love you, James Oliver Winchester. And so this is after the first year of Hogwarts. And he's like, okay, I guess you're not my family after all, bye. And he leaves. Or is this supposed to be like... Wait, so is an 11-year-old getting on a plane to America alone?
Apparently so.
Apparently.
In 2005?
Not after 9/11, he isn't. Fuck that.
Yeah, I know, that's kind of my point. Is like, if you had made this 95, I've been like, yeah, sure, fine. We have fucking
Yeah.
movies about this shit.
Well, I mean,
Like,
clearly, Sneaky, that could only mean one thing. The towers didn't fall in this timeline.
based.
Indeed. Bush didn't get to do it.
Bush was stopped.
Yeah. Or the Mossad, depending.
He had thought of Dumbledore as his mentor. Wait, so yeah, wait a second. How fucking old is Harry in this then? I'm like, is this post Harry Potter Harry, who's arbitrarily like? I think the author's retarded. Like, I know, shocker, right? I know, author's retarded.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Big
Really
shock.
think.
I think the author's retarded because I think what they were trying to do is they were trying to set it up so canon Harry Potter still happens, even though because like this is a very like clear-headed, like active Harry. Like if Harry had found out the Dursleys were his family and when he was still 11, like post first year, he wouldn't like try and fly to America. But like if this is supposed to be, you know, Harry post Harry Potter, yeah, I would believe it.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so teenager. Yeah. Okay, so he's not 11 then, if he's a teenager. Which means that this is a Harry Potter at some point. I don't know what the fucking years are anymore because the author fucked with the timeline for no apparent reason. I don't know what year Harry Potter is supposed to be in anymore. Is it... If he was kidnapped in 84 and put under for 10 years, and then he grew up 10 years later, it would be 2005, which would make him 11, which wouldn't be a teenager.
Yeah.
But then he just casually has Harry being super prepared and, like, no one blinking an eye at this supposed child just wandering around with luggage asking people where a roadhouse was in Nebraska.
A British child, no less.
And a British child walking around in Nebraska with a bunch of luggage asking about a roadhouse. Also, he's got like flying lessons and he was mentored by Dumbledore and shit. So like, at what point in time is this taking place? I don't understand.
Yeah.
So then he flew over to the roadhouse. He's wandering around, and then he suddenly was like, "Ooh, I think I'm gonna get hit in the back of the head." So he ducks. And he ducked just in time to avoid being cracked in the back of the head by some guy whose eyes were black. And so he just kept dodging this guy whose entire eyes were consumed by black. He was going to use his wand, but then he chose not to because he didn't want to get found out by the magical authorities in the US. Despite using the goblins to get a ticket over to America.
I don't think magical ice is a thing.
Magical US is a thing, yeah.
Magical US is a thing, but is magical ice a thing?
Yeah.
Probably.
I think so.
Poor Harry then.
Who
He's
are
gonna get
you?
deported.
I am thirsty for Winchester blood. Hey, ugly, here's some Winchester blood. And some guy called it out, and they sprinkled holy water on him, which made him hiss, and he started screaming in words in Latin at him, which, thanks to Hermione, Harry was able to translate, and he realized that this was an exorcism ritual, so obviously the person that attacked him was a demon. That's a lot of deductions, okay?
For an 11-year-old, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, just hearing someone chant while sprinkling water on someone and the guy they're chanting at screaming his lungs out with black smoke pouring out of him, I would justifiably be like, oh, that's an exorcism ritual.
Yeah.
That guy's getting exorcised.
Very cool.
Shit.
Uh-oh.
Harry's knees gave out as the adrenaline pumping through his system left him. Pathetic. Harry may not weigh a lot, but he was weak from lack of food from not eating. And so his bones were extremely fragile, and merely falling on his butt cracked his radius.
How weak does this person think?
Bruh. If he kept fucking dodging a demon, and then just falls on his ass and cracks his bone.
He would have broken his bones well before that.
He broke his arm by falling on his ass.
That's, I mean, like, yeah, if you catch yourself with your arm in a wrong angle, I mean, guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I did to some people sometimes, but, like...
Yeah.
How fucking weak do you, like, how... He was weak from lack of food, so his bones are fucking paper, apparently. Because it didn't say it fell on... It didn't say... Oh, he fell on his bruised arm.
Well, it actually does say that. Landed on his already bruised bone in his arm.
I mean, okay, fair enough, fine, I guess. Still.
Literally the sentence before.
Cringe.
Yeah.
Weak. Pathetic.
Yep. Very much so.
You okay? Yeah, I have a broken arm. It's nothing big. I can reset that. We'll stabilize it. Hold him down, kid. Bite on this. Blah, blah, blah. This is gonna hurt. Reset his arm. Harry moaned into the, face bandage. Blah, blah, blah. Hi, I'm James Oliver Winchester, and you guys are my brothers. Hey readers, I'm loving that you guys all like this story, but I feel like I need to address something. First off, this is my story, and while I appreciate your comments, I'm not looking for any ideas or criticisms. Well, that's an unfortunate fact there, author, because that's what you're gonna fucking get!
Yeah? I
get my timeline is controversial, but I have reasons. I want Harry to grow up with the Winchesters. I want to redeem John as a dad. I want to see older brother Sam, and I want to see Dean be overprotective. Author, you're writing this in the year of 2021. Just watch Supernatural if you want to see Dean be overprotective.
Yeah.
I am basically moving the Harry Potter timeline up 10 years. Nothing will be different. That's just so fucking...
A decade makes a massive difference.
Especially when you consider the tech jumps from the 80s to 90s to the 2000s.
Oh yeah, that's all I'm considering for this. Like, those 20 years were massive.
Wild. Yeah, my dad went from using punch cards to having a fucking home laptop.
Yeah, like, shit. We hit the year 96 and things really kicked off for tech.
Escalation time.
Like, mid-90s just like, alright, what if we just have exponential growth now?
Exponential growth is based.
Yep.
I'm just gonna make one review. Cringe. Post.
Man of few words. All of them based.
Truly, you are so
I-
helpful.
I try to be as good as the author I'm reviewing.
That's probably the nicest review I think I've ever seen you put down.
Probably.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's get the fuck out of this section, because I'm already tired of this garbage. Get away, Italia Access Powers.
Bless.
Sorry, I'm allergic to garbage.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
I think it's chronic.
Yeah, it is. What do we have left, time-wise? Okay.
Yeah, an
Wow,
hour.
Fruit Basket.
Almost.
That's something I haven't seen in a long fucking time. Holy shit, Fruit Basket.
Yeah.
I feel like clicking on Attack on Titan would be a larger mistake than I could make.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's certainly
That's a death sentence for your sanity. More than Makoko's for
Yeah.
me.
Makoko's pain.
Suffering.
Blue Exorcist. Ooh boy.
Blue Exorcist, bro.
That's old.
Blue Exorcist possibly has one of the weirdest season 2s.
Yeah.
Wouldn't know, never watched it.
Don't know, don't care.
So basically, Blue Exorcist, pulled a Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh.
Except they did it in their first season. So basically, in season 1, everything up to episode 7 was in line with the manga. But then by episode 7, they had already passed the manga.
Yeah.
Okay then.
In releases, yeah. Like, I don't know who the fuck greenlit Blue Exorcist with that few manga pages. It's like, oh yeah, guys, we got like 7 chapters of Blue Exorcist out. Let's go make an anime out of it now. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
We could make an anime out of this. No,
And
don't.
We
so-
can make 3 episodes out of this.
For the
Let's do
last,
it.
so for the last 5 episodes, they just went off the fucking rails. Like, he fought Lucifer and shit, and it's just like, okay. The end of year 1? Alright. Just casually fight the devil. And so then for season 2, they're like, alright guys, so, now that the manga has been made more of over the past 3 years since we've done the Blue Exorcist, we're just gonna follow the manga again, so ignore everything past episode 7.
Yes, the
Gonna
hard
retcon
retcon.
the last half of season 1?
Yeah, they just retconned the
Yeah.
last half of season 1, and it's just like,
I mean,
That's a fucking move you can make.
Yeah. I mean, DxD retcon an entire fucking season too.
I mean,
But,
was that because of a custom season, or was it because like?
I think it was because they went a different way from the original work. Because it was born, they retconned. And I think that they made Hero, which was the actual story. Because I think they split from the light novels. I don't know if it was because there wasn't enough content
I
necessarily.
really doubt it wasn't because there was enough content. Like there is currently
I know, yeah.
30 books out or whatever for DxD.
Yeah.
There is no way that by season 3 they had already gone through that many books.
Yeah. That's what I thought too, so...
There's too much DxD.
Yeah, there is. For a fucking
Yeah.
porn, there's way too much of it.
Yeah.
DxD. Fine. Where is it? Hayate the Combat Butler. I'm surprised there's only
There's a
two.
name I haven't heard in a while.
Right? Yeah, right? I was just reading New Game, New Life, and I'm like, holy shit, he fucking put Hayate in here. Like, it makes sense that he put Hayate in there, but it's like, wow.
When I was still reading that, it still hadn't finished.
Yeah, it was like chapter 323 or something is where I stopped, and that was back in 2011.
I think it got as far as 500 when I dropped it.
And I
need
didn't
to-
like drop it because of any reason. Like, I just got to the end of whatever was currently fan translated, and so I put it on my
Yeah.
list of death. I call it the list of
Yeah.
death because I never go back to the list. It'll just sit there forever inside my bookmarks.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I got up to the most current one. I'm like, you know what? This was cute and enjoyable, but I'll just
Yeah.
leave it as is.
Yeah.
Apparently, it made 52 volumes.
Oh,
Wow. It went.
yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Apparently, I was a lot closer. Was it chapter 500? Apparently, chapter 500 is near the end, so I guess I dropped it just before it ended. No, I dropped this way before 2014. Okay, never mind. Kind of curious how it ended now. Can I get the cliff notes?
Like, I honestly, I thought, as far as it goes, the premise was actually pretty cute. Like, the premise was like, oh, okay. Like, it wasn't cringy. It wasn't like it wasn't like excessively chunny. Like, yeah, it required a lot of suspension of disbelief, but the premise of I'm in massive debt, several of my organs have been, marked for sale, and then some rich fucking noble that I saved, buys out my debt, and so I become her butler in exchange. Like, all right.
Yeah, if you can get
Okay.
past, like, that's the weirdest it gets from what I remember.
No, it got weird. No, it got weird. But if you could get past the premise, you can pretty much accept everything else that happens in the story.
Fair enough.
Understandable.
Because honestly, the best part was how like casually it built up. Like, at first it was just like, oh yeah, Hayate, he's just a really good butler. He's pretty athletic, fairly human grade, fairly standard human grade, athleticism. And then like as the show goes on, he's like, I gotta be a better butler, and he starts like learning how to fucking run so fast he can basically teleport, and he can start like breaking boulders with his fists because he's like learning butler foo and shit. It's like, okay. But it's all like so casually delivered. You're just like, sure, all right.
This is fine.
I mean, to be fair, that was during like or pretty close to the era of things like Mataka Box, where it's like we're just gonna have fun.
Yeah,
We're
that
gonna
was the fun
deliver
era.
these lines straight faced, and everyone's gonna accept it because it's just the rule of cool.
Yeah, that was honestly that was like what'd you call it? The silver era of Rule of Cool. Because gold era was Trigun, Bebop, Inuyasha, Dragon Ball Z, just really yeah, they were just really like heavy suspension of disbelief in some fair amounts of it.
Yeah, but also some super solid writing, whether it was character or narrative.
Right, and then I would say Hayate was during the Silver Era, where it's like, yeah, you just gotta, like, the writing isn't fantastic anymore, but it's not bad. But it's mostly just rule of cool, we're just here to have a good time. We're gonna throw some references into some older shit, and everyone can be there, together to be like, oh, I know what that reference is! That's blatantly a Gundam ripoff! Haha, isn't that funny? That was definitely the Silver Era Hayate Combat Butler. That was definitely in the Silver Era. We're in like the fucking Iron Era now.
We're in the gold era of horny.
We're in the fair enough. You know what? Actually, yeah, fair. We're in the gold era of horny. I'll give that to you.
Oh boy.
Because every
Can we go
fucking
back
thing is
to the
horny now.
iron?
Can we go back to the iron?
Nope.
I mean,
there is no
iron was
escape.
like... Honestly, like, Sal was the transition for me. Sal was like the death of the rule of cool era. And was like the transition into the horny era.
Transition into the rule of cringe.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Yeah.
I feel kind of bad for SAO because, like, again, like the world was interesting. Kirito was just kind of there, though. The ideas behind it had some ideas. But then the author improved massively and is just rewriting SAO from the ground up with the progressive series.
Well, yeah, but the other problem is even if he had written it as the progressive series in the first place, there was way too much content there. Like, you would have to spend like 5 seasons on the castle. Which...
Yeah, and everyone agrees that the story went downhill when they left the castle.
Right, but that's mostly because they moved on to some other really crappy shit and they kept doing Sao tier stuff without the Sao. You know, the whole point of the show. Like, the whole point of the anime, not the series, the whole point of the anime was these fucking gamers are trapped in a fucking VR death game. And then they're like, yeah, well, it's not a death game anymore, and they're not trapped anymore, and they can sort of die, but actually not really. It's just people in real life killing people that are already in the VR. And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
when we move on to GGO.
Yeah, well, GGO,
the third arc.
and Alfheim.
GGO was fucking something.
ALO didn't have...
Alfheim was just like, okay, now it's rape time.
Alfheim was like,
rape,
oh, by the way, there's 100 people still stuck in there. Why? Because mass kidnapping.
Yeah, because now I need to rape people.
Mass brain mapping.
Yeah, that one was very
Where the Japanese government's just like, yeah, we know 100 people are just like not waking up out of their comas for some apparent reason, but we're just not going to investigate it.
Yeah, we're done investigating.
Yeah, we're not going to investigate it.
Wait, why? And then it's like, oh, by the way, this dude, ALO, was actually made by this dude who took over the company from Kayaba. It's like, I'm sorry.
And now he's
Are
going to
you
be raped.
blind, Mr. Secret Japanese government man? You must be blind. Or you're really bad at your job. I'd like to think it's because you're bad at your job. Because the other option is he just okayed that.
Yeah, I like to think it's because he's blind, personally.
Chocolates
para un dragon!
I'm sorry, you want to try that again? Your mic peaked.
Chocolates para un dragon! In Dark Souls 3! Ah!
I'm gonna guess that's probably a Valentine's.
Max, you remember Pruled?
Yes.
Oh, Pruled.
Dragon form Dark Souls 1! Hoa! Dragon form Dark Souls 2! Hoa! Dragon form Dark Souls 3!
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that one was weird. I'm looking forward to Dragons in Elden Ring, though.
Oh, apparently we get, like, Dragon Claw, Dragon Breath, and Dragon Bite, and, like, Dragon Tail or something. As, like,
all I know,
there's 3 of them that we know for certain, and that's about it, I think, right now.
The only thing I know about that is I watched a 1.5-minute video of an enemy someone discovered in the network test, and the dude was just summoning astral projections of dragon parts in his fight. Like, I hope I get that.
We absolutely are getting a lot of stuff, and it's going to be amazing. One of the swords is a fucking Beyblade of all things.
I mean, that's still one of the best fucking videos I've seen from Pruled, in terms of his humor content. Just Dragon form Dark Souls 3. Yeah!
Shame that we're still waiting on that next episode still.
Which series, Max?
Which series?
He's got like 5 we're waiting on.
I'm talking about the one that, like, initially set him off.
Which
His
series would that be?
it's I can't remember. It's been so long. His initial Dark Souls series.
Oh, with Solaire
Misadventures,
and
I think.
yeah, Adventures in Dark Souls, yeah.
Dark Souls Misfit, like everyone's still waiting on that, even though he claims to have lost the data to corruption or something. Which, by the way, I love seeing that. I'm like, now I know that you know nothing about technology because you'd have had that backed up in like 2 different places aside from the computer.
Oh, I mean, no, to be fair, though, I know so many people who are like, what's backing up things? I'm like, why are you like
Oh my god. Hey, you're sneaky. Gura is currently playing Minecraft in VR, and it is adorable.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is.
We unfortunately cannot watch it.
Yeah, not for at least another 30 minutes.
Yeah. Just what you should know.
The Black Dragon, a DxD fanfiction. Yeah, I picked that up, author, because you're in the DxD section. Thank you. Uh-huh. So yeah, Underplayed had some commentary that I have addressed off screen.
Yeah.
But
very cool.
Yeah, no, people. Max took a look through that thread of me just railing on some dude that is just religiously defending Russia. And it's like, can you at least admit that she was in the wrong and all? No, these are terrible people. They're maladjusted, delusional, needy. Okay, but are we gonna blame mental illness now instead of the people for taking advantage of them? I didn't say they were maladjusted, delusional, or needy. They're actually all completely sane. They're just dumb now. It's like, okay, so you're just blatantly moving goalposts just so Russia isn't in the wrong. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the TLDR is people fucked up. Who cares?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. It happens.
It happens more often than you think.
Well, I don't know.
I think sad.
Maybe a little bit. I mean, the overreaction certainly happens way too fucking often. But that's just normal with any fandom.
Yeah.
I don't think the engagement ring sales happens all too often. I don't think PewDiePie or Markiplier were selling engagement rings. I don't think BTS sells engagement rings.
That sounds like something PewDiePie
would
do.
BTS might,
PewDiePie would absolutely do that as a shit post. I just not now because he's married. But I think if he wasn't married, he probably would have done it.
Make a lot of fucking money off it.
It would be like he would call it like the bro ring or something. Yeah, he would make money off it.
Yeah. Easy.
The bros for life, or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I think the engagement ring was a little bit too far. And someone legitimately, so I brought that up in a conversation with someone. And they're like, yeah, she sold engagement rings as the character Russia. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it is as the character, but the problem is it still encouraged certain
she still sold the ring, so now they're dreaming about like no one like look. So none of these delirious people think that Russia isn't exactly as she is IRL. These are all delusional people we're dealing with. They all believe that Russia is exactly as she is on stream as she is IRL. And that's why they're delusional about being with her. And so if they delusionally buy an engagement ring being sold by the character Russia, they believe that's a real engagement ring to the character Russia. On some level. Obviously not on a legal one, but emotionally they believe it. Because that's why they would buy it.
Yeah.
That's how that works. So, yes, they then overreact at the idea of the character Rushia not being theirs.
Imagine that.
Yeah. So the logic still checks out.
Anyway, who cares?
No, like several chapters of just slice of life stuff. Well, I mean, why don't you write it then?
Yeah.
Mr. Underplayed Creations.
He sure likes to bring a lot of ideas to us and then doesn't do anything himself with them. Notice
I
that.
mean, I think he has the right role, doesn't he?
Who is he on the server?
Phoenix.
Phoenix, right?
Yeah, he has the writer role.
Yeah. So,
He should be doing something with him then.
yeah, go on.
You can
Tell him
do
what I
it.
tell At and Sneaky when they try to pawn off their shitty ideas on me. Do it yourself.
Yeah.
I try not to think too hard about how Saint Valentine is simultaneously the saint of marriage and mental illness.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Does it say the word AO3 on it? Yes, it does. So I'll just pop this up because I find it funny.
True.
That's pretty good. I like that one. Good
I
picture.
mean, the one below is more accurate, I think.
No, honestly, it's both. Usually both.
Yeah.
Pretty good too. Honestly, Arceus has, aside from the horny, produced quite a number of good art.
Yes. Yes, it
Yep.
has. Which is both surprising and not.
Yeah.
So who's gonna tell them that Luxray has X-ray vision? Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's yeah, unfortunate.
So anyway, yeah, Black Dragon by Loki Trickster God. I think we've seen this author before.
Sounds familiar.
Zato Sero, I feel like we've seen this author before, is a boy that the entire school of Kuo knows is a delinquent. And yet somehow he's still at Kuo? Okay, interesting.
Cool.
And he's a terrifying person. He likes to keep to himself, and that's easy when the entire school keeps their distance, but what happens when the supernatural world pulls him in? Well, that world is in for surprise since he isn't as helpless as he might have thought. Because he's a black dragon. Get it?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's secretly a black dragon.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I guess that's why he's a
We would
delinquent.
never know about that because of the title.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
impressive.
The secret
Riveting.
third heavenly dragon of divide boosting. I don't know.
Yeah. Conquering, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, basically. A worthy Crimson King of Destruction. What if the DxD universe was more brutal? Author?
Okay.
Does it really need to be?
Author, they literally torture a character to death in the opening chapters.
Yeah.
What if the DxD verse was more brutal? Author, they literally just straight up have a priest go around raping people to death. What? Rogue priest, to be fair, but...
Yeah, I mean... Tomato, tomato.
Like, what if the DxD version is more brutal? How much more brutal do you want it to be? Like, the bad guys of Arc 1, the Fallen Angel trio of Arc 1, they get literally vaporized by Rias.
Yep.
She vaporizes them. What if it was more brutal? What else do you want, author? Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah. I mean, I guess more.
Probably thought that was too tame, and they got off too quickly.
He wants
Torture,
DxD to escalate
vaporization. Oh, this is too tame. I need something more. Okay, author, you need to fucking calm down. Is what you need.
Do you have issues, author?
Clearly, they do. Trembling power of a fully realized Rias. Witness Sona being a true genius. Watch as Issei becomes worthy of bearing the title Red Dragon Emperor. Here's the real high school DxD.
I mean, it's a fanfiction, so
And somehow this story has 22 favorites, which just makes the Harry Potter section all the more pathetic. So I just want to point out, this section has 3,400 stories for the English. 3,400 stories for English. That story, which has only been up since the 13th, they've literally had 2 chapters, 1 update a day. Quite literally, this story has more favorites than the entire front page of Harry Potter.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen deader sections.
Yes.
Was it Mass Effect?
Yeah, Mass Effect was really dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like Mass Effect, Harry Potter's the largest book section on fanfiction.net.
No, the largest section at all.
I don't think so.
By a fucking mile. The closest in Naruto at like half, I think. Or maybe like
Naruto's 437.
Yeah, Harry Potter is like 800,000, my guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
840,000. Yeah. I wasn't fucking kidding.
Oh, wow.
Why?
What?
Yeah.
Supernatural is the largest section for TV?
That's not too surprising.
I mean, that one I kind of get, actually.
I guess.
It has all the women coming in.
Fangirls. Ooh.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Fair enough. That's big true. So yeah, that was the biggest section. Biggest section.
Yep.
And this story got more favorites than their front page. That's bad. That's harsh.
Yeah. Indeed.
Oh, okay, interesting. We got interesting. Got some good stats on this story, boys.
Fucking hell.
Got some good stats on this story. Dragon of the Elements. After observing him fighting against the demon king of his world, Lucifer Zerzex brings a demon by the name of Kenshin to Kuo, where he soon passes out from his injuries. He is then reincarnated as a devil by Rias, who then reincarnates the soul he just took in. What? How will this twist affect the world around him, and did his family have a history? He will soon find out. Alright, so it's lame. It's stupid. It's a self-insert OPOC.
Wow. In the DxD section?
In the DxD section, yeah.
Someone stop the presses.
I know. But impressively, it has 133 chapters and 1.7 million words.
Yeah.
Which is About 15K words per chapter. And he's been keeping this up for the past 7 years, which is pretty good. So it's 7 times 12 is 84. So he's got roughly a chapter and a half per month in terms of update rate. 15K.
Not too bad if it's like 15-ish K.
Yeah, it's not too bad at all. 783 favorites, and I think that's just from sheer dint of update speed. Like,
yeah,
because I'm not interested in this story at all. But if it
I mean,
works,
yeah,
it works.
like reviews and favorites and follows are not too bad.
Yeah,
worse.
that's Suthner reviews are. Love this story. Love this story. Yep, that, nice. Oh, this is even worse than I thought.
Oh, Lord.
So,
God. Yeah.
Yeah, so when I wasn't being drunk when I was reading this summary. Yeah, the author literally has Kenshin, who is a demon, get turned into a devil, but then it also turns the Dragon of Elements, which is the soul the demon took, also gets reincarnated into a devil. That's some next level mental gymnastics to get your OPOC into the story.
Yeah. he's a demon, but he's also a devil. And also he has Issei's body. I wanna fucking brain myself.
No, it's not Issei's body. Because Issei is a separate character as far as I'm aware.
Second review.
Oh.
Was there really a need to merge Kenshin with Issei?
Oh. Ah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. I wasn't wrong.
Is it required to read another work of this is a good review. Is it required to read another work of yours to understand this Kenshin character? Because I'm baffled as fuck with his reasoning about why he would fuse with a random stranger. Yeah,
Yeah. Makes a good point.
Okay.
What is this story supposed to
OPOC replaces the main character of High School DxD.
Huh.
Yeah. This is some extreme mental gymnastics. Yeah. This is pretty fucking cringe. I just read the second chapter, and the MC is acting like an idiot villain who's explaining all of his skills to his enemies. And author is just copying the anime till now, only a second soul and another body dropping into the story. Yeah, that's about what I expected. Issei Hyudo is both the Red and White Dragon Emperor. What?
How does that
Issei
work?
Hyudo is descent of two heavenly dragons. But one day, while visiting the playground, he met girl that would change his life, and surprise the supernatural world. Issei times harem. Won't be High School DxD if no harem. OP Issei, non-pervert Issei, smart Issei times Office with sexy scenes.
Okay, yeah, so it's not Issei. I see.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's not Issei. Also, apparently, both Drake and Albion fuck. And, at some point, their descendants, which aren't dragons, for some reason, fucked and produced Issei,
Wait.
who then
No,
fucked Ophis.
the Red and White Dragon Emperor things aren't hereditary. It's not. It's random as far as I'm aware.
That's not what
Or
the
not
author
random, but
says.
The author is saying something completely different.
Yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
I don't blame you, but yeah, that's
Yeah. God. Yeah, like
why?
that's not how it should work, is what I meant to say, I guess.
Yeah, no, fair enough, understandable. Why?
God has
I
left
don't
the
know how to,
server.
honestly, I don't know how to feel about Ophis. On one hand, it is literally the 5,000-year-old lolly situation. On the other hand, she doesn't actually have to appear as a stripper lolly. Because she has
Sort of,
shape-shifting
her own
powers.
fault.
And
Yeah.
she can turn into anything that she wants to be, except apparently the first person that she met that was outside of the
Gap, I think
the
it's
gap.
called.
Yeah, when she left the gap after the Great Red kicked her out, because apparently she has multiple forms that are canon. One of them is her being an old bearded man.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
She apparently, whoever, at some point, someone convinced her that being a small stripper lolly would get more people to help her, so she just adopted that form as her most recent human form.
Sure. Sounds about as right as anything.
And
it
so,
is DXD. Unfortunately, it makes some sense because everything is fucking idiotic.
Yeah, but at the same time, it makes me concerned how this works romantically. Because if she can shapeshift into anything, and you keep her as a child,
yeah,
but technically she's also like as old as the planet.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to think about it too much, to be honest with you.
Which is entirely fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
The Root of Hope, OC times Rosweis, with absolutely no relevant plot, nothing interesting. The Gaming Emperor. So you believe in the supernatural? Blah 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 blah. Altier. Blah blah blah. He would make the world his stage for his jokes. For someone like him, nothing matters. That's cringe. This is literally Joker Gamer. That's really gamer review author. Are you gonna say the N-word?
Probably, yeah. He's gonna say lots of gamer words.
29 days until I say the N-word.
Oh fuck, oh god. May the countdown begin.
I can't believe that guy pussied out. That's so pathetic.
Yeah.
We already covered that one, apparently, because that one's already highlighted. Clock's ticking. Being reincarnated into the world of DXZ was not what Nathan expected when he went out to eat. Being in Agrees even less. Oh well, at least he has something to work with, at least until the clock runs out and he has an apocalypse. Sure, I guess. Taro Yamada was an unremarkable person. Yeah, I know, because that's literally John Smith. Literally John Smith times Kaneko. I'm not okay with that. Crimson Monarch. This is my first story inspired by Shadow of Crimson King. Yeah, we can tell. It's cringe. Dusk Till Dawn. Asia Argento arrives at Kuo after months of tracking him down. Determined to deal with her past. Freed Selzen. Perhaps she'll do some good in this world by confronting him. Yet she's not the only one affected. With a tale of her own in the uncertain future, she might not get a chance. AU, where Asia is a vampire.
The fuck?
And actions have consequences, the author ironically writes, trying to conceive of an AU where Asia's a vampire.
When would you learn?
How badly would that fuck up the story?
That would massively fuck up the story. In fact, the whole reason that everything in DxD pretty much happened was because of Asia.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Yep.
Huh.
So, yeah. A high school DxD, a new opportunity. Life is ever changing and choices can make choices. A young man is given the opportunity to start over when he realizes the worth of moving forward. When he has already given up. What? Rated M for sex.
personal?
This story is slow paced. Well, 51 chapters at 580k words. You know what, author? I can't say you're wrong. It is pretty slow paced then. OC times Kuroka, Yasaka, and Graphia.
I can understand the first two, but then the last one lost.
I mean, clearly the man has a type.
I mean, yeah, clearly the guy's got a type, but that's a fucking square to that circle.
Yeah. At least he's not a lolicon, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, at least he's not a pedophile.
At least not in the tags. Who knows what's actually going on in the story?
That's fair. Yeah. Broken booster gear. God didn't plan ahead enough. Alright, I'll pause as I wait for the Christians to lynch you. Alright.
Alright.
The last fight between the hosts of the Heavenly Dragons had drastic effects. Now that he was free from his jail, nothing would be the same. This is just the story of Drake and Issei. Featuring characters like Issei, Drake, the Great Red, and Tiamat. 42 chapters, 232k words. Over the course of 1 year. Not bad.
Alright.
Not bad at all. I mean, could be interesting.
Could be. I guess. Yeah.
Storm gathered, fight raged on, Albion, drag, boost, 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 divide, divide, divide. Nobody truly won, they always killed each other. Mikhail, even though you were gone, it's funny, you promised to go back to this fight and you lost the desire to defeating Albion, but use a juggernaut drive. But you must be going like Mikhail. Albion, I think I'm done with this. I know there's only one way to stop this. Drake stops powering the values on the defenseless. Chance using compression divided, eliminate his adversary. He feels the pain. So partners should be the last dance. Blah blah blah. Attack of the White Dragon Empire. Her wields such an amount of power and lack of defenses leads to an unexpected offense on the sacred gear. The attack starts to divide the gear as the body of the Red Dragon Emperor is erased from existence. The jewel, the boosted gear, cracks for the first time, and it's not something physical. Without realizing what he did, Albion and his current host sent into a chain of events that will change the future for many people. Many years after, in the present era, Issei Hyudo wakes up from his dream feeling drained. He was 6 years old. Weird dreams, visions of the past, visions of war and fights consume his nights. Parents take him in to psychologists. His parents begin to be affected by the lack of answers. They all start to think he's possessed by something. Heavy amounts of money they waste on medicine and treatments didn't improve their lives. Stress of his condition causes parents to the child deciding to hide his dreams for the sake of the family. Begin to lie about his dreams and create a fake mask to hide his fears. I mean, this author has surprisingly so far not lost me.
Wow.
He didn't want to see them sad. He didn't want them to fight anymore. He just wanted to be happy. Yeah, so again, perfect. Actually, for the first time in a very long time, we found an author who knows how children think.
Yep.
He began to smile and laugh more for people whenever he felt sad, lying to his friend Irana to make sure no one knew what happened, approached the mirror while other people would see his reflection in the mirror. Issei could only see the giant red reptile. It wasn't always like this, but he couldn't see his own reflection anymore. He was scared and wanted to cry, but just buried his problems. And blah blah blah, losing his sanity. He said, let's go to the park where we have homework, just follow me, blah blah blah. He says trying to escape, blah blah blah. Most kids claimed that Rana was a boy due to her attitude, but Issei knew she wasn't one. Blamed the weird dreams that showed him weird things that no child should ever see. But the fact that he had taken baths with her confirmed the difference between the two of them. Fair. We have been friends for a long time. What's happening to you? Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. We've been together for many years. Blah blah blah. She wasn't sure if she felt love for him because she didn't know what love really was yet, but she knew that she liked it when he was happy. Okay, nothing weird there too much at least. And then they left and blah blah blah. Gas tank. Tank is okay. The gas company's coming tomorrow. That's clearly a death flag. This is clearly a death flag here.
Oh.
He's setting up the death flag.
Uh-oh.
Family. So this is place. The new Red Dragon Emperor is Drag, the Welsh Dragon. You've been troublesome. If I eliminate your current host. So die for the sake of my plan. So then he sets off a fireball. He sees smoke, gas tank, blah blah blah. There's a fire. I can't escape my room. Drop down the window. Sound of explosion. The gas tank was loaded closer to their room. Exploded due to the fire. Couldn't hear his parents anymore. Boy drops to the floor and tries to approach the window, but the flames had spread around the house. Trapped in the house now. Blah blah blah. Die, child, die, die, die. You and the White Dragon Emperor shouldn't exist. You're monsters on the battlefield, and I don't want to deal with you. He was sure this would kill Issei because every other wielder had only shown their powers around 14. Issei was 6. So he was pretty sure there's no chance of it awakening. Issei's crying about not wanting to die.
Cry about it.
Blah blah blah. blah blah blah. So Drake grabs all the souls and flew through the crack. He stays on the floor, and then some pain starts burning in him. And then his eyes changed color into reptilian eyes, and some dragon wings popped out of his back, and then he jumped out of the window, and then the voices said sleep, and so he fell asleep. And so anyway, he bursts out of the house. This body is too weak for my power. I need a place where I can shed the human shell. Then he pops over to the dimensional gap. And then the Great Red comes over and he's like, Drag, what the fuck you doing here? I can feel all your power and no more seal. You should be sealed. Great Red, I don't have the answers, but I need your help. This is an emergency. My current body won't last much longer. I need asylum. Current host, are you controlling the body of your current host? It's never happened before. I don't know what's going on. Please, I'll pay any price. I just need asylum. The Great Red was like, okay, you know, legit, you're sitting here groveling for asylum, and that's something I know you'd never do, so I will reluctantly allow you to have asylum, but you better answer all my questions later on. Thank you, Great Red. Truly unexpected. I don't think any other version of myself has ever seen anything in each of their own timelines and realities. Maybe this can help me in the future, but I can't be watching this egg all of the time. Meanwhile, in the underworld, a certain blue-haired girl. Okay, so he's gonna call on Tiamat, Roar the Apocalypse Dragon, Great Red, Frequency, blah blah blah. Smart enough, know my limits. Great Red, what's going on? I have questions. So do you. We can't trust Drag. He has yet to pay off any debts. Do you really believe he'll pay your debt? He knows what I can do to him. For some reason, that author refuses to capitalize the red in Great Red, even though it's a title.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Annoying.
It's like that one author in the My Hero Academia section that I found that for some reason headcanoned that All Might's name is one word and the might is lowercased. Because and then when I questioned them on their reasoning, they said, well, it doesn't make sense that his name is All Might.
What?
I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, it makes more sense if his name's one word, All Might. I'm like, what? How does that make more sense? By what definition of the word sense? You haven't provided any reasoning as to this. You're just like, nah, it makes more sense if it's one word. It's like, fucking what? Okay.
Alright then.
He isn't gonna find a replacement, blah blah blah. So just sign a contract for his life. Once you have the contract, he's good as yours. I need to take care of that egg. Why? I can't do that. I hate him, you know it. You owe me a debt, and he owes you a debt, and he owes me a debt, so I'm calling in your debt so you can look for his debt so I can get his debt. Tiamat's like, okay, fine, I'll protect Drag's egg. Good. Don't come out of the gap until you tell me. I have plans for Drag. Such a small body for a heavenly dragon, how long is it gonna take you?
Okay, Meanwhile, Sneaky, every time you say Drag, I just hear J-Reg.
Yeah. Junior Egg, you mean?
Yeah. Oh god, he's about to make political satire. And schizophrenic shit.
Schizophrenic political satire.
Oh fuck, oh god.
That's a combination of words I just heard tonight.
Oh yeah, Max.
Look up,
Max Junior Egg has released an amazing compilation of self-help videos. Like the video for self-help with ADHD is 50 minutes long, with him reading an article in the most boring monotone voice possible.
Yeah.
Thanks. I hate it.
Ah.
And like the self-help for schizophrenia is like the entire video is like, what if they're right? What if the government has put a chip inside of you?
Yeah.
And the self-help for epileptics is just a seizure video.
Oh, jeez.
It got taken down apparently.
I'm not surprised by that.
That one's
Not in
not
the slightest.
surprising.
Advice for depressives is him basically saying, maybe suicide isn't so bad after all.
Oh, I thought he was gonna go the classier route of just get over it.
No,
Yeah,
this is ironic self-help. Max, come on, keep up. All right, so Broken Boosted Gear had a kind of interesting beginning, but then it got really just weird. Kind of lost me right at the end, where it's like, I'm gonna call in a bunch of debts so I can get my one debt from you, because I'm the obvious plot hook NPC.
Yep.
So yeah, that's it. We're past 9 o'clock. It's time to close up. Thank you everyone for staying as long as you did. Is there anything we need to cover before we leave? There are darker settings in DxD. I mean, fair enough. Confused police sirens, fair enough. We need a gamer fic where there's actually a gamer saying gamer words. And how would Twilight healing work on the forbidden words people? Well, that's a good
I don't think
question.
to their how they want it to work.
Yes, let's go with that. I'm pretty sure Twilight healing would work in the opposite way. The forbidden words people would want it to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that covers all the comments we got, and we'll see you next time, fellas. Because Friday's still a day, which means there's always more, and it always gets worse.